Recently, it has come to many people's attention that there was an entitled guest at Disney World. This person was asked to undergo a temperature check, and they proceeded to lose their mind. They refused the temperature check and subsequently were ejected from the premises. And in the process, they made sure to let everyone know that they had spent $15,000 to come to Disney, and how could they eject someone who spent all that money? How could they? They can't eject me.
Are you refusing to leave or are you going? Sir, the last time that you're going to be sold, you have to leave or we will remove you from the property. On Disney's behalf, it's private property. $1,000. It's private property, sir.
Start walking, sir.
You have to leave. They're asking you to leave.
Telling me I spent 15 grand? Turn on your back, sir.
First of all, that 15 grand part is true. That is his own fault. Before the whole world imploded, I had planned a honeymoon to Disney World, and it was about 3 grand. And that's including everything. Hotels, park tickets, transportation, all of that. So I'm sure he thought he was being the big man and proving his point to everyone, but all he was really doing was showing how much of a dumbass he was. But let's get to the true heart of the matter that I wanted to talk about. People are acting like this story is unique. While the exact details of the situation might be, this kind of behavior is something I witnessed all the time when I worked for Disney. I was a cast member about a decade ago now as part of the Disney College program. I was a character attendant, which is the person who goes out with the characters to help organize the line and help take photos. And I also worked in attractions, which is the rides and the shows and whatnot. Here is photo evidence for anyone who would like it of me working at the Seas in Epcot. Anyway, even though it has been a decade since I worked there, some of the things I experienced I will never forget. For example, the number of people who asked me where Harry Potter Land was, and then proceeded to get angry at me when I told them they were at the wrong park, was too damn high. I don't have a specific memorable instance of this happening because it was a daily conversation. Here's how a typical one of these conversations would go. Hey, where's the castle? Oh, Cinderella Castle is right behind you. No, Harry Potter's castle. Oh, I'm so sorry. Harry Potter's at Universal. You're at the wrong park. What do you mean I'm in the wrong park? Harry Potter's at Universal. This is Disney. No, I bought tickets to Harry Potter. Where is he? I don't know what to tell you. Harry Potter's not here. You stupid bitch. You ruined our vacation. Disney taught us in our training that the most common question that we would get would be, what time is the 3 o'clock parade? That was a lie. I only got asked that question once, and it was by somebody I knew was being a smartass. Rather, the where's Harry Potter questions almost completely top that list, along with where's the bathroom and what is there to do here? A more specific story I can remember is a day that I was working in Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom. I was working here by Stitch's Great Escape, which is a topic for another day. Across the way from there is the giant white building commonly known as Space Mountain. This particular day, a woman came up to me and asked me where Space Mountain was. You know, fine. Sometimes I forget my own glasses are on my head. It happens. So I point over to Space Mountain and say, it's that big white building straight across. Can't miss it. She looks at Space Mountain and then looks back at me. How do I get there? I looked at her, trying desperately to maintain my Disney smile, and said, you walk that way? And she got mad at me. She got mad that she had to walk about 100 feet to Space Mountain. I was like, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. You just walk straight that way and it's right there. You cannot miss it. Yeah, wasn't good enough. I guess she expected me to carry her or something. I don't know. Another time I was also working in Tomorrowland, but right next to Space Mountain this time. Specifically, I was managing the line for the big cheese himself, Mickey Mouse. An older gentleman approached me and said he had a favor to ask. I was like, okay, what's up? He said, me and my family have been in Disney World for 10 days, and the whole time my grandson has been asking to meet Mickey Mouse. That's the only thing he's wanted this whole trip is to meet Mickey. Well, today is the last day of our trip. Our flight leaves in an hour, and he still hasn't met Mickey Mouse. Would I be so kind as to let him skip the line to meet Mickey? First of all, if you really made your grandkid wait that whole time and not honor the one thing he asked for, you're an asshole. Second, the whole my flight leaves in an hour thing, it's a line I heard a lot, and it's a lie. If your flight genuinely leaves in an hour and you're in a Disney park, you've missed your flight. It takes a minimum of a half an hour to get from Magic Kingdom to the airport, and that is not counting getting out of the park, going through security, any traffic. You've missed your flight, I'm sorry. And third,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no.
no, I'm not letting you skip the line. You wait like everybody else. Well, he didn't like that. The whole family, 4 of them, came up and started bullying me to let the kids skip the line. They called me cold-hearted. How could I not be more understanding? He's just a kid. This is all he's ever wanted. I stood my ground, kept saying, no, if you want to meet Mickey, you have to wait in line. And they were like, no, let us skip the line. I had to get my supervisor to come tell them to back off because they would not budge. And even when they backed away from me, they didn't leave the area. So when we took Mickey back for his break, we had to surround him because we were scared the family was going to attack. All right, I've got one more story, and it's a doozy. This story also takes place in Tomorrowland. God, Tomorrowland was cursed for me. Anyway, as illustrated by the previous story, we didn't let people skip lines. It's not fair to the people who have already been waiting. However, there is one exception: Make-A-Wish families. For those not familiar, Make-A-Wish is a foundation that grants last wishes for kids who are dying from cancer or other similar ailments. These families, when they come to Disney, are treated like royalty. Everything is paid for, they get front of the line access for everything. The protocol for character meet and greets was when a Make-A-Wish family would come up, I would greet them, I would go to the next person in the regular line and say, hey, I've got a Make-A-Wish family, is it okay if they go ahead of you? Almost always, it was perfectly fine. The people were like, oh yeah, of course, let them go. And everything's great. Almost. So this particular day, Make-A-Wish family comes up, I go to the next family, hey, Make-A-Wish family, is it okay if they go ahead? The next family was like, oh, of course, absolutely. The woman behind them looked super angry. Whatever, not my problem. I got what I needed, so I turned my attention back to the Make-A-Wish family. And then behind me, I hear the woman say, I wish my kids were Make-A-Wish so they could skip the lines like that. I am not joking. This absolute wished her own children had cancer so she could skip a few lines at a theme park. To this day, a decade later, I get so angry. I wish I had had the balls to say something at the time, but I was in shock. I couldn't believe someone could be so callous. So I just focused my efforts on making sure the Make-A-Wish family was taken care of. I have no idea if they heard her, but I hope they didn't. Lord knows they had enough to worry about. I have a ton more stories from my time working at Disney, but I think that's enough for today. If you want to hear more, or if you want to share some experiences of your own, please feel free to leave a comment. And of course, like and subscribe. I'm Nightingale Flo. Thank you so much for watching, and have a magical day. See ya.